Hi, everyone. Kartik Krishnaiyer for the Florida Squeeze. One of the things that's becoming a massive topic of conversation since I've returned from the United Kingdom and returned from India, um, it was a topic of conversation while I was there in terms of the Canada-U.S. tensions, but since I've returned, is the impact of the increasing tensions between Canada and the United States on Florida, and in fact, the increasing hostility of Canadians to the United States. And I have a lot of experience with Canadians. I work with a lot of Canadians. I have a real sentiment for Canada as a nation state. So I understand this maybe better than a lot of people do. And my view right now is that a lot of Canadians are feeling put upon. A lot of Canadians feel that Americans have typically had a very patronizing attitude towards them, a very big brother attitude toward them. And Canadian nationalism, which has always been, sort of a clunky thing because of the nature of Canada. And in fact, for those who don't understand Canadian governance, the federal system in Canada gives the provinces a lot more power than even states in the United States have in some respects. So, but the thing I want to track the next few weeks is my conversations. And if I continue to hear the things I've heard, even from Canadians who come to Florida every winter, who are telling me they don't plan to come to Florida in winter 25, 26 because of Donald Trump, because of the hostility to Canada, because of what they perceive as a very patronizing attitude from the United States. And as I've said before, I've dealt with this in my own life, in my own businesses, in my own business dealings, that Canadians feel that their companies, their institutions, their not NGOs, their non-government institutions, their private sector often is under the thumb of the United States in terms of investment, in terms of resources, in terms of goods, in terms of trade imbalances. Even though Donald Trump is claiming a trade imbalance one way, Canadians tend to think if you take the energy sector out of the equation, the trade balance is entirely the other way, and that they don't even have a completely independent economy. And the United States and Canada has represented basically one trading bloc for a long time. A trading bloc, when combined, is comparable to the European Union. Now, if you take out the Canadian component of that trading bloc, of the U.S.-Canada trading bloc, we're ignoring Mexico for the time being, and it really is, for me, irrelevant to this discussion about Florida. Then you're talking about two relatively weaker economies when decoupled. And in terms of Florida, we get just about more foreign investment and more tourist traffic from Canada than anywhere else, including other parts of the United States. We get more foreign investment from Canada than any other nation. That's a fact. And we get more tourist traffic from Ontario and Quebec specifically than from any other U.S. states, other than maybe the states that border us and people are driving into Florida, Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina's nearby, North Carolina's nearby. So this is something I'm going to continue to track, and I think as U.S.-Canadian tensions continue to be ratcheted up, this is a real concern for Florida, and something we have not heard anything about from our elected political leadership in Florida. And in fact, there's lots of land and property in Florida owned by Canadians. Again, incredible foreign investment here in Canada. Now, some of those Canadians feel very sentimental towards the United States, and they're not going to, their personal behavior and their investment behavior may not change. But for others, it very well might change. And it might be forced to change if we do have the full-on trade war that the Trump administration seems to be anticipating and preparing for. So let's keep an eye on this.